right. So, Marvel held their Hall H panel at Comic-Con. And as usual for Marvel's Hall H presentations, they showed a bunch of trailers, but they're not available online. Now, I used to think that that was a policy of Hall H, but they also released a Penguin trailer, and that was also a Hall H presentation. So, I guess that's just Marvel's policy, not Hall H. Anyway, a lot of interesting tidbits came out of this panel. And boy, oh boy, Marvel fans are going to be enjoying themselves. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the really big thing first. The two Avengers films that are coming out are Avengers Doomsday. So they're no longer doing Kang like a lot of people thought. They're pivoting to Doctor Doom. And then there's Avengers Secret Wars. So obviously they're going to do God Emperor Doom, because why have the first Avengers film be Doomsday if the second one isn't going to be God Emperor Doom? Anyway, that is already exciting. But finding out who's going to play Victor Von Doom is even more exciting, and I have seen people guess this one correctly. It's going to be Robert Downey Jr. Now, when I think it was the first Fantastic Four movie was coming out and they were looking to cast Doom, I think they were looking at Robert Downey Jr. And now Marvel has him. Now, this is a great way to go around the problem of we killed off Tony. Now, technically, they could do the multiverse thing and bring him back as Tony Stark. But maybe Robert Downey Jr. wanted to play a different character. I mean, let's face it, the multiverse is so wacky that he could be both Iron Man and Victor Von Doom at the same time in this universe. We don't know. But let me just read what they say. Marvel pulled off a multiverse melting miracle by revealing that Robert Downey Jr. would return to Marvel for a pair of films as the villain Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom. Avengers Doomsday will bow in May 2027, and Avengers Secret Wars opens in May 2027. So we're going to get two Avengers movies in the same year. Unless that was a misprint. And that's supposed to be May 2028. Because to have two Avengers movies in the same month, in the same year, that does not sound feasible. I'm going to say that's a misprint and it's supposed to be May 2028. The old band is getting back together with the Russo brothers to direct after helming Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, which is great because those movies were received really, really well, especially Endgame. So it only makes sense that they would have the Russos come back to direct more Avengers movies because they obviously know what the hell they're doing. Even though James Gunn was a little bummed with the way they wrote Star-Lord, but that was a writing issue, not a Russo issue. Let's see. So that is all I have for those two movies, which is already enough. I mean, that's just nuts. We're getting Victor Von Doom. Now, obviously, Doctor Doom is a big Fantastic Four character. So, even though he's going to appear in those two Avengers movies, then the question is, are they not doing Doom in Fantastic Four at all? I've heard that they're doing Galactus because, they already cast Galactus and Silver Surfer, but I guess they're trying to give it a rest because they had Doctor Doom in the last two movies, Fantastic Four movies, so just, give it a bit of a rest. But because they said that Robert Downey Jr. is doing two Avengers movies, it makes me wonder if they're going to reference Doom in Fantastic Four, because let's face it, he was college roommates with Reed Richards. I'm gonna sneeze. So, we now have a title for Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four First Steps. Which, I don't know, when I think of First Steps, I think of children. So, and since Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby are not exactly young, I mean, they're not old either, but, they're at that age where if they're going to have kids, they would have them by now. So, that leads me to believe that at least Franklin, if not Franklin and Valeria, will be in this movie. But let me read to you what's going to be happening. Anticipation is high for the Fantastic Four movie, which was revealed to be called The Fantastic Four First Steps. Filmmaker Matt Shakman said on stage that shooting had not yet begun. Okay, proofread before pressing print. Come on here, guys. But he teased it would be inspired by a retro future version of New York. That makes sense because it is an alternate Earth and they're in the 1960s. So, yeah, that makes sense. The film stars Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Eben Moss. Did he drop Bacharach? Or did the Hollywood Reporter drop Bacharach? Okay. As Ben Grimm, the Thing. We are collectively going to bring an essence that is a family, said Quinn, rather than thinking about what individually we're going to bring. It's a team sport. We're going to work very hard to bring a feeling of family to this film. Yeah, the Hollywood Reporter is seriously failing me. This is like the third whoopsies I've seen in this article. Come on, guys. Please. I know that this is exciting and you want to get out all the updates, but I don't know, maybe proofread. Because, word isn't going to help you here, guys. Anyway. Among the revelations was a look at the Fantasticar, which in the comics is their flying vehicle. A model version flew across the stage. The Fantastic Four are already in the zeitgeist thanks to a special tie-in, the multiverse-spanning Deadpool and Wolverine. And that movie opens, they say July, Fantastic Four. I'm like, wait, what? Fantastic Four will open July 25th of next year. So, now, I actually do have a shot of the Fantastic car, so I'm going to turn you guys around. Alright. And let's get this rolling. Where's my cursor? I cannot see. That is very, very cool. Oops. So very, very cool.
Alright guys, they are literally going back right now. Back to London to start shooting the Fantastic Four.
Alright. The only thing that would have made that cooler is if it landed and the Fantastic Four, the actors, came out of the ship. Car. But, still very, very cool. So, now, the revelations that I'm giving you seem to be going in reverse order, which is fine. It's much easier for me to go down the page than up. Alright, so let's have some fun. The next project that was announced, or third to last, however you want to think of it, is Thunderbolts. David Harbour got laps by showing up in full costume as Red Guardian, his Soviet-era Black Widow character. He asked his castmates why they didn't dress up after he sent them an email telling them that was the plan. The film stars an assortment of Marvel's villains and anti-heroes, led by Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, and also featured stars Sebastian Stan, Hannah John Kamen, Wyatt Russell, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Filmmaker Jake Schreier brought the first footage to the panel, which revealed that Louis-Dreyfus's character is the one bringing together the team, which should come as a shock to really nobody. People already thought that was going to happen. One curiosity, the film's title features an asterisk at the end, but Feige declined to reveal what it meant. At CinemaCon in April, Feige suggested it would become clear by the end of the movie, which leads me to believe that they changed their name. And this was brought up on comicbook.com when it was first revealed, that the name is going to change. That Thunderbolts might be what they initially are called. Val might think because Thunderbolt Ross is the president, and since she works for the government, that she would call the team Thunderbolts. And by the end, everybody's like, yeah, we don't want to be the Thunderbolts anymore because we're no longer controlled by the government. So that's my theory right now. Whether that's going to reveal itself, it's just too bad I don't have a picture of David Harbour in his Red Guardian suit, because now I did read in another article that Julia Louis-Dreyfus did actually dress up as Val. So either he just made up the thing about the email just to have some fun, or Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the only one willing to dress up. That he sent the email, but she was the only one who would do it, and everybody else chickened out for whatever reason. Now, I do know that they had a trailer, but again, God knows when it's going to be released to the public, if it's going to be released to the public, who knows. So, next up is Captain America Brave New World, which my understanding is this is setting up Thunderbolts. So, let's see what they have to say about that. Though director Julius Ona was not able to attend due to COVID-19, well, that sucks, MCU newcomer Giancarlo Esposito joined the cast on stage and revealed on stage that he will be playing King of the Serpent Society, Seth Volker, aka Sidewinder. So, and I've seen trailers and people thought that he was playing Machine Man. But this makes more sense since initially, I mean, they had to do some reshoots and reshuffling of the storyline, but they initially wanted to do the Serpent Society, so it makes sense that he would be a member of the Serpent Society. The panel showed off thunderous footage of Harrison Ford, who plays President Thunderbolt Ross, but who will also transform into Red Hulk. I wanted a piece of the action, Ford said of joining the MCU. Brave New World marks a high point for Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson, whom he has played for more than 10 years in the MCU. Really? It's been 10 years already? After co-headlining the Disney Plus series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Wilson leads this film as the new Captain America, who must navigate his rocky relationship with the President. It bows on February 14, 2025, with Mackie, Tim Blake Nelson, and Danny Ramirez also joining on stage. And for those who don't know, Tim Blake Nelson is the leader. He was the leader in the very first Hulk film, prior to Mark Ruffalo. And Danny Ramirez is the new Falcon. So, let's see. That is all I have, which is a lot. Definitely a lot. So, yeah, I was contemplating whether to try to come up with something to say about the Penguin trailer that came out. But then this happened. And a lot of big stuff happened, so it's even more irrelevant for me to do that video because I didn't have much to say about it anyway. This, however, a lot of great stuff. Now, I had previously seen Kevin Feige also mention that Eternals 2 is not going to happen, which shouldn't surprise anyone since that wasn't well received. But, the character, there's still going to be characters used from them, like the whole concept of the dead celestial. Then we have the Black Knight. Dane Whitman is supposed to come back at some point. What they're going to do with the other characters, we don't know. But actually, I also don't mind because, the whole concept of the Eternals, it's great that you're trying to do something new, but why not keep the Eternals the way they were in the comics? Why make them robots? Make them androids and then have to tie yourself up in knots to explain things like Thanos has a brother, or to make it so a child actor can actually grow up and it won't be weird. So yeah, that movie was just destined to fail. It was a great concept. I loved the characters, but yeah, a lot of problems with that. So anyway, that is, I believe, all I have. It's just too bad that we didn't hear any updates on things like Blade, because that movie is cursed. There's always something pushing it back. We didn't get anything about Agatha All Along, even though we've already seen trailers and it's supposed to come out in Halloween. But yeah, it's there were some projects I would have liked to have heard about that are coming up. So yeah, Agatha All Along, any other TV series that, but maybe they're going to have a separate MCU TV show panel, because no TV shows were mentioned in this panel. So maybe they're going to have another one just for TV shows. I don't know. But I believe that is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.